Hello, my wonderful being of love and light, and welcome back to one of my 5D transmissions. Today's topic is basically the rules I live by in my whole universe. I truly believe that we're magical beings, we're divine creatures, and we can do, create, and have anything we want. And I want you to feel the same way and to understand your true power. So today you chose the topic of quantum jumps. So exciting. It's a complex topic, but I want to start with these basics of the quantum structure. I'll show you two of my cool drawings because as you can see, I'm kind of an artist. And then I'm going to leave a Q&A open in my page so you can ask me any questions, and then I can follow up with a different video in which I can fill in the blanks with all your curiosities. So as you can see here, the main picture is Hertz frequency. What does that mean? The whole universe is composed of frequency, energy, vibration. Right now, I imagine you can feel my vibes, and right now I'm spreading positive vibes and I'm being excited, and that's what you can feel. Sometimes you don't even need to talk to understand the energy of a person, or somebody walks by and they're in a bad mood or they're low energy and you can feel it from miles away. And if you're an empath like me, you feel it even more deeply. So the whole universe is frequency. And if you're here watching my video, I'm pretty sure you already know that. So what does that has to do with quantum jumps and parallel realities and switching timelines where everything gets exciting? I went down to the TED theory. This is some information I received from the Council of Nine, but I feel that it's easier to remember if I write it down this way in a TED. So what does TED means? T is your thoughts, E is your emotions, and D is your deeds. So if you align your thoughts, your emotions, and your deeds in an exact same frequency of vibration, if they're in complete alignment, you can create a portal here and project the holographic reality of your liking. Sounds a bit complex, and let's go and slow it down a bit. An example can be if you want to become a famous painter or just a painter, because it's not about being famous, it's about the fulfillment you get from what you're doing. And your thoughts are, I'm becoming this painter, I'm happy doing my paintings, I know that I can do what I love and I can serve a lot of people and make money out of it. And then your emotions are, I know that I'm doing this and I'm excited and this is happening. But your deeds are staying in bed and not doing any paintings. So your thoughts, emotions, or deed are out of alignment. And your thoughts, if you are excited and you know you can do it, are in 10 Hertz frequency, that it's a high frequency. Your emotions, because you feel good, are also in 9 Hertz frequency. But if your deeds, you don't take action, you stay in bed, you're lethargic, you're lazy, then they are in 2 Hertz frequency. And that creates just a whole misunderstanding, and the universe source, your higher self, doesn't really understand what do you want. And the universe cannot provide you and deliver you what you want if you're not in alignment with your TED. So what do you have to do? What's a different example? You have to, your deeds. You need to take action. And sometimes for some people what happens is they take action, so their deeds are in high frequency, but their emotions are, I don't feel like this is possible for me, or nobody's gonna love my paintings, or I don't know, it's taking too long because you feel like you want things to happen right now. In other realities, in other dimensions, other planets, beings are so evolved that they can think about something and it instantly manifests in their physical plane. But here on Earth, it takes a little bit of time because we're still in the linear time continuum. So you need to take an action, but with the emotions that doesn't matter how, when, doesn't matter any of the circumstances that are going to align themselves and work for you, because that's how it happens and that's how I have created everything in my life, so it does work. You don't need to think about that. You need to let it go and be like, I know. Knowingness calibrates really high. Knowingness is a high vibratory frequency. So when you let go of all of that, your emotions are in a high state. So the deeds, the actions that you take are going to be in that same vibratory alignment. And your thoughts, that's why for some people it works really good to use affirmations. You can start journaling and be like, I know I am this painter. I know my paintings are valuable. I know that people value my work. So you start to work with your thoughts And at the beginning, maybe your thoughts are not going to translate into emotions, but the more you practice, the more you're going to truly feel it. And here you can see there's a version of the painter, or you can put it in anything you want to accomplish in your life. It's happy because he got to align his stead, and it's high enough in a high vibratory frequency that he was able to use these arrows here in alignment and create a portal. When your thoughts, deeds, and emotions are in alignment, it creates a portal in the ether. You cannot see it in your physical plane, but you can see it in your third eye, and you're gonna project the reality of your liking. So here the painter is happy. It's selling it his paintings, he's living in an amazing place with the love of his life, or who knows what the painter wanted. So it worked for him. But at the same time, there's a version of the painter in a different parallel reality that didn't align correctly his thoughts, emotions, and deeds, and he created another portal. So let's say that the painter's deeds were taking action every day, so his deeds were at 10 hertz frequency. His emotions were, I'm doing this, but I'm not sure, I don't know if I have what it takes. So the emotions of the painter were like 5 hertz frequency, and the thoughts were all over the place. One day he woke up and was like, I'm sure I'm doing this. Another day he woke up and he was like, I'm not good enough. So it was all over the place. And when the painter's higher self added up the frequency of hertz of all his stead, it ended up being 3 hertz. So it created a timeline in which the holographic projection of the painter was this not that happy dude here. And at the same time, there was a version of the painter that was living his best life. And it's exactly as if you were watching television and in one channel you have the successful painter and in another channel you have the frustrated painter. And they're both happening at the same time. So if you can see it and you can see a version of yourself in your third eye doing and having and accomplishing and feeling the things that you want to feel, it means that it exists. Because everything in consciousness that you can perceive with your third eye, if you're clairvoyant, if you're clairsentient, maybe you feel it, it is happening within consciousness. So you just need to align your TED, your thoughts, emotions, and deeds, so you can create the portal and project the reality of your liking so you can become the best version of yourself. So now I'm going to show you my second painting in which I'm going to tell you how to jump from one parallel reality here to another parallel reality. Actually, you want to jump from this one to this one. So I noticed that in my past explanation, I had 2 circles in my glasses, so I took them off. Those were the lights, but let's say they were the portals that are going to help you to jump from your current timeline into your highest possible timeline. So cool. Here is my new explanation. As you can see, here's the 3 hertz frequency, which is the lowest vibration, and then you can see the 10 hertz. Every circle represents a parallel reality. That means that this is a parallel reality, but it is in the same timeline. That's why I said in the same color. And here you have a different timeline with its multiple parallel realities. What happens and why sometimes it's not as easy for you to jump into a different reality, different timeline of your liking? Because you keep seeing the same surroundings, you keep seeing the same people, you're in the same job. Although you're holding a higher vibration and you're trying to manifest an amazing scenario for yourself, if you don't see the results right away, you may tend to think that it's not working, which is not the best thing to do. You should believe in your manifestations even if you cannot see them in the physical plane right away. So you keep projecting the same holographic reality over and over. And as you can see here, this not that pleased guy keeps projecting and representing the same holographic form of reality here. And it's not that easy for him to jump here. How can you jump? As I said before, you need to align your thoughts, your deeds, and your emotions into a high vibrational frequency long enough, again and again and again, until you anchor it and you crystallize the timeline, and that way you can jump into the 6 hertz. And the faster you do this, the more you do this, the more you gain confidence, because the better it gets, the easier it's going to be for you to anchor yourself into a 10 hertz timeline. And 10 hertz is just an example of frequency. It can be a lot higher than that or lower than that. So whenever you feel like you're finally getting some progress, and sometimes the progress doesn't have to necessarily be in the physical manifestation, but in the feelings, in the emotions, you feel better, you feel that you're getting somewhere with your creation, then you're sometimes here. But what happens? You fluctuate, you flip. One day you don't feel as motivated as you were before. or you get triggered. And those triggers are amazing, they're beautiful, because it's the way of your higher self to show you that you still have some lessons to learn. And the more you see a pattern that gets repeated in your hologram of reality, it means that you need to pay attention. But that's wonderful, because awareness is the first step for change. So if you're finally anchoring a new timeline and you're hearing the 6 hertz and you get triggered and you feel like you go back here and you keep fluctuating realities, doesn't matter. Because there's going to be a point where if you don't give it that much thought, if you don't that much thought to the negative emotion, if you don't keep feeling bad because you cannot see your things right away, you're gonna stay in this timeline and you're gonna keep taking positive action towards whatever it is you want to create. Here also you can see my amazing friend, this alien and the UFO, in the highest timeline, because the more your emotions are happier, the more you are in joy, the more you elevate yourself, the closer you are to the reality of the ETs. Everybody is a channeler. Everybody can become psychic, but you need to be in your heart structure. What that means is that everything that you do comes from your heart. The actions you give to people without conditions, you feel joy, you do the things because of the just energy of doing them, not for the result you want to achieve or get from that action. When you really anchor yourself in that timeline of joy and happiness, you are going to be able to anchor almost the same timeline of the ET energies, and they're going to present themselves to you in dreams, in your meditations, in your channeling. And you wouldn't really need me. I'm a manifestation of your own program, of your own hologram of consciousness, and you're letting me express my higher self to give you these messages, but you don't really need me when you achieve the highest possible timeline. And I just remembered I had a video in which I explained that sometimes we get a payoff or a sense of a survivor, a warrior, when we keep repeating old stories of trauma or not that amazing childhood or somebody that wasn't that nice to us, or keep holding resentments. When you keep telling that story over and over again, you are anchoring yourself in a 3 hertz timeline frequency. Because you can have multiple and infinite parallel paths. As you can see, the whole quantum structure happens at the same time. Your highest possible reality is happening at the same time as your sad reality or just less preferable reality. So if you keep telling the story of how you were a victim to the new people you meet or to the people in your hologram, then you're gonna keep fluctuating from this timeline to this timeline and like this. If you change your past, if you create a different story, because at the end, everything is just a story. Create a different path for yourself. Say, I had an amazing childhood. Everybody was super nice to me and my parents were really loving and I forgave everyone and I just felt love. You can actually alter your present and change your future. So if this was the parallel past that was traumatic, you can jump into the timeline here that your parallel past was super joyful, and then you're going to anchor faster and easier the future and the present of your liking that can be in a higher timeline. A tip and something that you can do to make this set alignment go faster and you can see your manifestations quicker, you can place your desires onto the past. Sometimes you don't believe yourself when you tell, I am already this painter, I'm already selling all my paintings and people love my work, and you don't believe it because, as I said, your surroundings don't match the results you are seeing. So put it in the past. I already became this amazing painter. I already sold all my paintings. Already everybody knows that my work is valuable. Then when you said that it was in the past, you tricked your brain, you tricked your hologram matrix of reality, and it already happened. And maybe actually it happened in this timeline, and that way you can switch and jump here, and in this parallel past that you said that you had and you created, you start seeing it, visualizing it, and then your presence start changing. And one day you're gonna wake up and everything's gonna be different. You're gonna be like, wow, I finally did it. I finally anchored the timeline. That's it for today, guys. Thank you so much for your presence. If you're watching me from Instagram, be pending to my stories. That way you can tell me which topics you want me to expand on next, or maybe you want me to keep explaining timelines and parallel realities, because there's a lot to talk about there, or we can do a live Q&A. I think that sounds fun. And if you're here from YouTube, I'm gonna drop down there a link to my Instagram so you can participate in the poll. And also don't forget to give me a thumbs up and a subscribe if you're liking the content. It just helps me to know that you're resonating with it and I can keep creating videos like this for you. So see you in my next 5D transmission.